Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
I can't believe I got that out without messing it up.
Yeah.
New day.
New day. It's a great day.
Thomas. Did anyone ever say Thomas?
You know, when kids were trying to make fun of you in school, they would try to come up with stuff that rhymes, and Thomas doesn't really rhyme with a lot.
Yeah.
So like Bombas and,
Ooh,
that
Bombas
stuff.
socks.
So yeah, I'm wearing them right now. So they tried stuff like that, but the one that my brother came up with lasted probably the longest, which was Tom Asshole. So yeah.
I guess that makes sense when you're a kid.
Robbie, though, that had to be tough because
Robbie, yeah. I never really had any.
that rhymes with everything.
No one was mean to you?
Red Dinger.
No. Yeah, I didn't have anything weird.
Oh,
There
really?
never got made fun of in that way.
Me
You?
neither. No.
Man. It's just, there was
I've been called like weird names though because of my spelling. Like people pronounce it crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meg,
There was
yeah.
a kid in my school named Clifford Stiffy.
Yeah. See, that's why you weren't getting made fun of. Clifford took the bullet for everybody.
What were his parents thinking?
I don't know. Cliff Stiffy. That was his name.
That's unreal.
And it's like, he was a nice kid, but like, you can't.
No.
There's no way you're dodging those bullets.
No, you're a target.
Yeah. That was rough.
I think it'd be almost worse, though, if you were a girl with the last name Stiffy.
Yeah. Did you have anyone know any?
And my teacher's name was Mrs. Crummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone put a tack in her seat. It was crazy. So,
Oh, that actually happened?
it was a
I
beautiful
thought
day.
that just happened in cartoons.
So she was a larger woman.
Yeah.
And she always wore those like polyester pants. And I guess this would have been like 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And she got up and I didn't even see it. Someone put a tack in her seat.
That's mean.
She sat down
Yeah.
and it was like a war movie. You just saw this look on her face and the silence fell over the classroom.
Because everyone knew. Yeah.
And then you just saw one single tear
No way.
drop down her eye. And she sat there. She didn't even jump up or get it out of
just
her
took
butt.
it?
And she said, I have been disrespected in my career as a teacher.
Wow.
I understand my last name is Crummy. She goes, but the rudeness that someone has just perpetrated upon me will stay in my memory forever.
Oh,
It
man.
stayed in yours forever too,
did.
obviously.
Right. Wow.
It did. And
Did
yeah.
that kid show remorse?
The crazy thing is she dismissed the class before she stood up. I don't think she wanted any of us to see. I never found out who stuck it in. I think it was Donnie Bull.
Okay.
And Donnie Bull and I got in a fist fight over a girl, which I won.
Oh, nice.
It was good because I literally like pummeled his face.
Wow.
But while I was doing it, I was so worked up
Yeah.
that like I got emotional. So like there was tears streaming out of my face at the end of the fight
Yeah.
because he attacked me.
Yeah. I mean, you're a kid. You don't know what's
I
happening.
got emotional and like his face is bleeding and stuff, and
jeez.
he's pointing at me going, "Look, I beat him. He's crying." I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, he never messed with
Did
old
she
Thomas again.
Did she come over to? Did she then?
The teacher?
No. Did the girl,
girl.
see that show of strength and respect it?
I mean, we did
Okay.
we
can
did
move
hang
on.
we did hang out for a while longer, but
didn't
she
even
made the
know.
fatal mistake of we were riding on the bus, and she said, "By the way, did you know that Erica has a crush on you?"
Oh.
And I was like, "She does?
Oh.
See you later, Shelly."
Yeah. Sorry. Wow. What a time,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, 6th grade was tumultuous.
So
Is
that was
that the right
sixth
word?
grade.
Middle school, I feel like, is like the hardcore memories, like where, I don't
yeah.
know,
Which is-
especially in school.
Nothing.
Which is weird now because the boys are in like middle school and they got no stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No
Thea's
one's-
now in high school, but
No fights. No one.
there are fights,
Okay.
but they're not involved.
It's good to know.
I think it's also just a different time. Like,
Yeah.
we're just living in a different time where
Yeah.
those things aren't allowed. I had a teacher in middle school named Miss Keister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was our science teacher, and she also taught us sex ed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that actually like worked out
was a
well.
lot.
It's kind of like she chose.
And
her
she
life
was the
path.
scariest teacher in our middle school. Like the most strict, the one who you like sat down in class
Yeah.
and you
So she was a
participated.
tight keister.
She's
Yeah.
a hard keister.
But that's the thing. Like, if you had the last name Keister, are you keeping it?
no, you got to change that.
Yeah.
Like,
Keystone.
I think she was married, so I guess she took it. I don't know.
She took it in the keister.
wow. Yeah, she did. She did.
Come on, man. You lined that one up pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of those names. If you have a name like that, maybe just let us know. You know what? We can't even the Spotify, I guess since they bought Anchor or something, you can't do
Phone call-ins?
like questions or something. You can do polls, but not questions.
Oh.
I think we should start doing like once a week having a call-in. Because we
Okay.
get these questions. People always want to know
Well,
about shoes or how they fit, this one versus that one.
Well, what I was thinking is, you know what? We're coming up on our 300th episode.
Yeah, we are.
We should do, I don't know, maybe like an extravaganza.
Like do
Like a party.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, maybe a
live
party,
show?
but yeah, like a live show would be cool. But or
Drop a palooza.
or yeah, I like that. Or just have a listener call in session.
Oh.
I like that.
Because you guys do that for Fuel for the Soul, right?
Well,
No.
no, we take questions and then I will read them on the show.
We could do it though. We can do it with this setup here. There's a way to just take calls.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
It might be fun to
do.
do a live one. Like, what if we went
Oh,
to
like
New
a
York City or something
audience?
and just had 300 episode? I can't even say
Why
it.
don't we
See?
just do it in Baltimore?
Episode.
Yeah.
Rent
You
out
know, I
the-
feel like we get bigger crowds in cities we're not from.
No, that's not true. Look at our turnout at our grip party.
I'm kidding.
I mean, it depends. If there's like a whole situation, a shoe release or something around it.
Yeah.
then- But I think we know more people here.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't want any of our friends heckling us though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be mean.
Mm.
Speaking of being mean. Also, did you see that podcast? You probably don't know about it, but I was telling Thomas about it. It's called Call Her Daddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
You do
Barstool-
know about that?
Yeah, the Barstool.
I didn't know about
they
it.
well they
It's a spinoff.
they
yeah.
used to be on Spotify and now they went to XM Radio for $100 million.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
So the whole
Crazy.
thing with that was kind of so the one, I think Alex Cooper. I believe she used to be with Barstool, and they like basically built her show up, and then she split off,
Oh.
and
It was
then-
not mutual.
Yeah,
Got it.
and then basically like started her whole own thing and like burned them, and then they and then she like now she has Call Her Daddy, which is like a huge podcast. 100 million though.
125 million deal with Sirius XM.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
I didn't even know like people still listen to Sirius XM.
I didn't either.
That's why they're paying $100 million to get that audience over there.
Yeah.
That's always when you rent a car from like Hertz and it's like they have XM radio and you're like, what is this?
And
No,
you can't find anything. It's
Yeah.
like 20 rock and roll stations, and you're like, just give me one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had it when it first came out,
So did I.
and what was that? 2003.
Were you a Howard Stern fan?
I would listen to it sometimes just because it was on there, but like
Like
that's not why I bought it.
I felt like that was the huge
Yeah, that was-
Sirius XM pull, because it was Sirius and
Well, no, I had XM. They were two different ones
Yeah.
at first.
Sirius and XM,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had XM radio.
which
Like
would
in
have almost been
2004?
like Spotify before Spotify,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
it was cool.
you couldn't pick the songs, but you could pick like, I like modern rock, certain genre.
And you knew you were gonna get the song like every band. You would hear all the bands that you liked or whatever.
I saw you got real excited about Oasis.
Yeah, it's like exciting and depressing.
What's happening with Oasis?
Well, they just announced this morning that they're back together to do shows this summer, which is like crazy because everyone thought Liam and Noel were.
Did they run out of money?
So somebody said, I saw someone on Thread say, what are we calling the new bands that are reunited after divorce settlements? Because apparently, like one of them, there's like you'll notice like when someone in the band lead singer has a divorce and they're like, we're back on tour, we're getting back together. But they're playing like 10 or 12 shows or something, but it's in the UK.
In 2025. you got to go.
Wait, we are going to be in the UK in
I
2025.
know, but it's in summer of 2025.
Just hang out.
Just stay a few
I was
months.
trying to see like how that works, but the tickets go on sale I think on Saturday and will obviously sell out immediately. Because like people in the UK are crazy.
UK and
for
Ireland.
Oasis. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a place you could stay in Ireland.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a castle over there?
No,
My sister-in-law,
Oh.
her family's over
Yeah?
there. Yeah.
you could probably stay in a field with some sheep.
Yeah, there's lots of that.
Honestly, it sounds awesome. I'm not against it.
You would like it until they then slaughter your favorite friend.
What?
Well,
It's a meal production place. It's
Yeah.
not like a
Okay.
pets.
Don't talk about
you
it.
know.
Yeah, but we don't talk about
I
it.
did see on
was- that
Instagram
was
someone ran
I
a
was
story
punning
that
that.
all these restaurants that were vegan in California are now starting to add like meat back into the menu because they can't afford to stay in business with just meat vegan food.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That'll happen. What was I gonna say about? Yeah, I don't know, but maybe I would like to go over there to see. That would actually be sick to see them in the UK. But I'm also like, do you think they'll come to the US at some point? I would think. But
if
maybe
the
not.
money's there and that's what they're doing, then yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be here.
I don't know.
They'll do the UK, Ireland first, see how it goes, and then
That's like my
pop
number
over.
one band that I want to see that I've never seen.
Okay,
So we'll see. It's just
that's
like
your Wonderwall.
and I don't think they're the best band ever, but just at
They're-
a certain time in my
I get
life,
it, yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
super meaningful to me. Anyways, what
That
else?
was a lot of
what's new?
banter.
I'm actually at the
Nonsense.
other side of stuff where it's like I don't want to see the bands that I idolize.
Yeah, and I get that because you're like, I know it's not gonna be what it was to me then. They're older. It's just
Yeah, like
like Liam's probably not gonna be throwing like piss on the crowd, which is probably good, but
Sounds good.
I mean, I just see like even like when I see Billy Idol on TV now, I'm like, yeah, and Morrissey, it now looks like he's melting. I'm just like,
he's kind of yeah. That's just
like,
let your legends.
look at the
live.
Cure.
I'd rather not.
I know.
Honestly,
I mean, that is
Robert Smith looks like Beetlejuice if
He looks like
Beetlejuice was
Mrs.
actually dead.
or Mrs. Crummy,
Yeah,
Ms. Doubtfire on a bad day.
dude, it's seriously, it's like just use a hair straightener, man. Like you don't
Take off the makeup.
Yeah, like it was cool in the 80s. It's like it does.
Did you pull up an image?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So man, so this is a running podcast for those who
Well,
haven't,
people listen to music when they
haven't
run.
listened. Yeah. Imagine if you were listening to this for the first time.
Wow.
You know what-
just got very confused.
You know what I ran on today that I had never run on before?
Like the earth? Like a surface?
I was on the earth. It was the Wahoo Kickr run.
Oh.
Now,
Okay, that makes sense.
I didn't do anything crazy on it today, but it is pretty insane because it syncs seamlessly with Zwift.
So the Kickr Run is a treadmill.
It's
right?
the one we saw in Orlando.
Yeah, I'm just saying for the crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the most advanced treadmill to date, which
Okay.
it can not only elevate up and negative, so it can go downhill. It also goes from side to side.
You can get those lovely cambered roads you don't like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
which is good because it works the muscles
Yeah.
that you're going to use in running. But one of the neat things it does is it's Bluetooth to like Zwift. So Zwift has a running like video game kind of thing. So you see yourself running. Like if you go, I'll give Carl the video, but like if you go to like my Strava today, you'll see like a little video icon of me running through this mountain and stuff like that. So I'm on a mountain running. Now, right now, I just went like basic treadmill mode. So it's just like speed and incline.
Yeah.
But you can do free run, which will basically speed it and slow it down depending on where you are on the treadmill surface. So if you want to go faster, you just run faster and the treadmill will speed up. And
Wow.
if you go slower, it'll slow down. But today, they're getting it. They haven't done the firmware yet, but the guys from Wahoo are stopping by the house today to go over everything.
Okay.
And they're saying that the firmware integration with Zwift will have the elevation. So like when you're in Zwift and you're running up a hill, the grade will match, the treadmill will match the grade.
Oh.
And I tried to do it yesterday just to test it, but like workouts, it asks you to do like the speed up or down. Whereas I think at some point it's just gonna.
You like plug in your workout and it'll just speed up when you're meant to go fast and slow down when you're.
Okay.
Like
And
if you wanted
also-
to plug in like 800s or whatever.
Wait, what does it do right now? You have to speed
Right
up?
now, there's
manual.
paddles and I'm just hitting the paddle. Or if I was doing free run, I could speed up or slow down.
Okay. I got you. I got what
Yeah.
you're saying.
But the cool thing is, like, think about where this is going. And right now, like, it looks like Grand Theft Auto on
Yeah.
the screen. But I have a feeling that the graphics in Zwift will
Yeah.
continue to get better. But, like, imagine that I could go run portions of the Berlin Marathon and have the elevation
Probably, yeah.
and the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
go. And I can set it to my marathon pace and just be like, okay, I want to do 6 miles on the course this morning. And
I wonder, and I know like with AI or like not AI, VR headsets and stuff, it's like it's too disorienting and stuff to do that. I wonder if they'll just have a pill at some point where you just like take a pill and it like doesn't make you weird.
I don't think it'll be a pill, but I did
I don't
see
know, something like that.
that
Going to the
Elon
Matrix.
Yeah.
Elon Musk has that Neuralink or whatever.
Yeah.
And they showed a guy who's a quadriplegic
Yeah.
playing one of those shooting video games, like a Warzone thing or
Yeah.
something like that. And just with his mind,
Yeah. What?
he,
Are you kidding me?
no, he can navigate and shoot. And the someone was saying in the comments that it's actually almost like a cheat code because, like, if you're looking at something but you're using your
Yeah,
hands
it's
to
faster,
aim,
right?
he's looking at something and then is thinking fire. And if he's looking at it, they're in target.
It's gonna be a millisecond faster or whatever.
Probably a lot better. Plus, also like just getting the coordination to get your
Dude, that's
thing. So yeah. So before this, he had to use that thing with his mouth where he'd toggle stuff.
yeah.
And he'd have to look left or right. He'd have to toggle left and right. Now he's like, I just think left or
crazy.
right. And he goes, and he said that it was cool because he's moving around and running.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, he's there.
I mean, dude.
We're not that far away from some weird stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, and imagine if you could like even then implant the sensation of running. You could really replicate everything. I would.
Well, I think that's what happens because like
Yeah.
doesn't he like get out of breath and stuff? Like he's like your whole
Really?
body, like your
your nervous system reacts to it.
yeah. Because if you think it's real, like it's real.
True,
like,
true.
Here's the thing. I think when we look at stuff, and I just went and saw Aliens Romulus, and I was like, it was cool, but at the same time, the spaceships are all the flashing buttons and the knobs and stuff like that that are from like our childhood.
Yeah.
But you know, now it would just be a screen, and you'd be touching,
Right.
you know, a screen. And I think in the future, we're thinking of all these physical things, like with the implant and stuff. It'll all be in your head.
Yeah.
And it is gonna the reality of what things are and what they're not, I think is gonna get real dicey.
I hate it.
And then someone was already showing me like the AI generated photos. They were like, here's the regular photo, and here's a video that we've made from the regular video that can show. And it showed a helicopter crashing in the ditch. And then they showed another one where it was a motorcycle accident. Like it was just a street. And then they put in the AI like crime scene, motorcycle accident with a sheet over the body, and
Yeah.
it looks real.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're going to see stuff in our feeds
But-
and stuff that we don't understand
Yeah.
if it's real or not.
But the problem is, so there is that like beginning honeymoon phase of that type of AI stuff. But the problem is if AI builds, if there's too much AI and not enough original content, then the AI keeps learning off itself, which creates basically a doom loop where any AI or technology trained off itself just gets worse and worse. It's like a photo of a pixel that's copied multiple times. If you do that forever, it just turns into mush, which they've done with AI learning off itself. And it just becomes nonsense, or just after even ChatGPT asking the same iteration like 5 times, it becomes gibberish. And
Well, I noticed
so if
that-
it keeps learning off itself, they had to balance that out somehow.
The
That's not going to work.
so I did that meta thing that I put in my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
Did you see Thomas as a merman?
I did.
I did that, and it get almost addictive to keep putting in different prompts. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that the more iterations I did, the less it actually looked like me.
Yeah, basically.
But which is weird because it scans your face first, and then puts it in, so it should have it in there. But it did start to like. I was like the last one. I was like that doesn't even. Yeah. It's not even look.
I think it was the golf club that really threw that one.
The golf club, but no, I also did a Ben Johnson in front of his garage. But me, and I'll show it to you. It's pretty good that it looks like Ben Johnson in front of a garage, but it doesn't look like me.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's so I get that part, but at the same time, like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be I don't know. It's definitely the Wild West, though. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Anyway, what's going on with your running, Robbie? Are you back on normal swing of things after your camping?
Last week I did really my most miles since who even knows when. I did like 50 miles.
Whoa.
Close to it.
That's a big week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Megan's. What are you? Yours. What's your mileage?
Last week I did 90.
That's me and you combined. I did 40.
Insane. But yeah, I mean, to each their own.
Oh yeah, it is. It's totally individualized. By the way,
to each their own.
I had a rest day yesterday, which I hadn't had when I released in like almost 2 weeks, and it was the most glorious thing ever.
In 2 weeks, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't take? I guess that's true.
He gives them randomly. They're not like once every 7 days.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
I was very excited about it.
That's funny. It does look like something.
Yeah. All right, first check-in. Are you training for a marathon? Because your mileage is looking fine. Anyhow, just thought I'd check in, see how you're doing. Hopefully you're enjoying the high mileage now and getting into the, I guess, the thick of it, because it's right around the corner. These next couple weeks are going to be big mileage for Berlin, probably Chicago. You have a little time for New York, but keep it up.
Okay, Thomas, let's talk about our sponsor, LMNT.
I'm so addicted to this stuff. I don't know how it happened. When I first started drinking, I was like, it's too salty. And now I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, so they now have LMNT Sparkling, which comes in cans. It's the same zero sugar electrolyte formula that was in the powder, but now it comes in a can with bubbles.
And we've been doing that before they even had the cans. We started mixing the powders with like seltzer.
Yeah, and it's perfect during the summer when the temps are rising, you're sweating more, you need to replenish those electrolytes, especially sodium, which LMNT is known for having a bunch of. So our listeners can get a free LMNT sample pack with the purchase of any mix order. Just go to drinklmnt.com/thedrop.
Yeah, so I did a just like kind of 8 mile most of the runs, and then a 16-mile run on Sunday, which was half road, half trails. So I got to run in the Tectonics 3 finally.
Great shoe, right?
Yeah, I really like it.
I had so much fun. And you ran on the road on it a little bit. It's not that bad.
No, it's, and the first 2 versions, same thing. Like they weren't, remember like 2 years ago, I was like, the Tectonics is actually the best Hoka road shoe, because that's when Hoka like road shoes were terrible. Like 2 years ago, it was like, that's when we thought, oh, they're done for. And then they somehow turned it around. And now they're like the best brand.
I was thinking because we're getting towards the end of the year, I've been thinking about like the brands and who's put out the most solid lineups this year.
Yeah.
And I would say Hoka has some of my favorite shoes, but they also have like all these periphery shoes that you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tecton X is probably one of my top favorite, what did I have? The 2.5?
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite shoes of the year.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So that was fun. And then, so I have a good story from one of my runs. So Saturday, I ran around like noon or whatever, but it was nice out. It was like the humidity.
Yeah.
It was like 80 degrees, but there was no humidity. So it felt great. And I was just doing like a slow run, and I was up near the ETC like that same place where I found like $200 at one time.
Is that why you were back there?
Yeah, I always
Checks the
I always
bank.
go back to the scene of the crime just in case I'll find it something else. So I found someone's license on the sidewalk, and I'm like, I try to track them down if I can. So they weren't from Baltimore. It was a North Carolina license.
But if you put the license in a mailbox, doesn't it automatically get sent back to him? Or is that a myth?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's not happening. Like, there's no way, considering the fact that an entire box of Robbie Raccoon hats got lost in the mail system for 2 months.
Yeah,
I'm not counting on a license getting back.
Maybe you should put your license on.
But I figured it's more fun to, like, the kid who, like, the part of me who read the Hardy Boys and Encyclopedia Brown as a kid. I'm like, I'd rather dive into the mystery, see if I can solve it.
I loved Encyclopedia Brown.
Yeah,
Do you remember the one about the
cool.
birds crashing into the windows? and
that sounds
stuff?
familiar.
They were eating fermented berries.
Oh, nice. That's a hard one to solve. Yeah, for a kid. But the license was from North Carolina. Looked up this woman on Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Wait, how did you get her name?
It's on
It's
a
her
license,
driver's
Meg.
license.
Oh, I thought you said license plate.
Oh no, license, just license.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow, Meg, you
Did I say license plate?
I feel like you did.
No, I had license.
Okay.
For a minute there, I thought Megan lost her mind.
I swear you said license plate. We're gonna have to go back.
I might have said that. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's why I was like, "How are you putting this in?" I was very confused about the whole
Okay.
thing.
Okay. So if dear listener, if I said license plate, I'm sorry.
And if he didn't, my bad.
Yeah. And so she was from North Carolina, and I tried searching her on Facebook, everything, nothing was coming up. Tried Googling her, and an obituary came up of not her, sorry, of her father. So she was in it, and then it listed like her kids. She was probably like in her 50s, I think.
Okay.
And so I figured they're probably on social media, Facebook.
Yeah.
So I found her daughter on Facebook.
Jeez. And you still get work done.
Yeah, this is a Saturday. This is a Saturday. So I messaged her and her daughter, and she was like, "Oh, my mom's still in Baltimore." So she connected us, and then so she was in town for the Usher concert, which I don't know why she was over by there.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, there could have been. I mean, the Monument Brewing is over there.
Mm-hmm.
Are
Other
the
stuff.
ETC?
Yeah, like you know, how there's that strip. There's like a
Oh yeah.
that little
Yeah.
Axe
axe
throwing.
throwing
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And so she said she was downtown, and she's like, I was like, well, I'm going to the Orioles game in like a half an hour. I'll just meet you down there. And so it turns out
I
that
would never do any of this.
so it turns out that she actually had just dropped it, and she was across the street with her friends. And
So you basically stole it.
yeah. And I recall that seeing them because I was like looking around, and they saw
They were
me
searching
and
for it?
and they saw me pick something up, and then, but I had left on my run again. And then she realized it was like she had dropped her license. So anyways, so I connect. So
she explains this to you. She's like, "I saw you pick it up," and
yeah, because she was like, I just realized I saw like you were the one, like
Yeah.
you picked it up. We saw you pick it up. And but she didn't know that at the time, like that's what happened. But when I told her I found a license, she realized that. So I went, met her. She was super nice. She was like, "Let me give you $20, buy beer at the baseball game." I was like, "Nah." I was like, "It's totally cool." And she's like, No, for real. Like, just let me. I was like, "All right." Like, I'll turn it down twice, but if you offer me a third time, I'm gonna.
Does
take it.
that get you a full beer for $20?
It does 24-ounce beer for $16,
wow.
and which actually isn't too bad if you think about it in terms of $8 a can. It's
How
not
much is
the
a hot
worst.
dog?
Like $8 at the stadium, but you can bring your own food into the Camden Yard. So I always just get a sub from Potbelly's before we go in. Anyways, so really, it's like I found $20 on the ground.
Yeah, that's
Right?
I guess you can translate, but the amount of work that you
Yeah,
did
you worked for it.
you earned that $20.
But it's like fun. It's like not work for me. It's like
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Okay.
the scavenger hunt.
Yeah. Like literally.
You know, it'd be a great TV show is following Robbie around as he finds this stuff.
That's I don't think I've ever had anything that work out that well.
Yeah, but that story right there
Yeah.
would have been a great, what was that guy? Quantum Leap. Remember when he used to,
Balky Bartakamus.
yeah, he used to jump into other people's bodies
Yeah.
and solve it.
Yeah.
This would be like that, but it's just Robbie finding stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to meet the other characters.
I think yeah, I mean I'd be into that. That'd be good. Sorry, Balky was in Perfect Strangers, but Quantum Leap came right after.
All right, Netflix.
Didn't Quantum Leap and Perfect Strangers come on at the same night?
Dude, I don't remember.
Sorry. Anyways, yeah, that would be cool. I'd be into that type of pitch. But that was probably the weirdest thing that happened to me this past week.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, except someone took a dump in my alley again.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's probably the same person unless there's like
That stole my-
unless somebody's dropped a pin on a map and it's like, hey, great alley to
Yeah.
take dumps. By the way, I found when I went to take pictures of the Prima this morning, I saw a new spot which was by the car dildo incident.
Yeah.
There was a used condom by where I like to take photos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm
Nice.
like, damn it.
Gross.
Like that must be the sex lot now.
It must be.
It used to be right by
my
your
lot.
house.
Yeah. It's no more.
I think they're like,
I think you're right.
going over there.
Yeah, the worst part is he wiped with a hoodie. So I'm like, what do I even do with his hoodie? Like the human feces I can like, I don't know, use as fertilizers. Can you use that as fertilizer?
Oh my god.
Oh, so the hoodie was left back there?
Yeah. And I'm like, what do I do with that?
Well, what kind of hoodie
you throw
was
it in the
That actually
trash.
was kind of cool.
No, you throw it in the trash.
Like, was it a Ravens hoodie?
No, it was like a tie-dye, like kind of like a,
Tell me you put it in the trash.
no, I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. It's still back there.
Here's what I would do.
I don't want to pick it up.
No, but you get a stick.
Yeah, like
a long
just
stick.
like a shovel or
Why don't you
something.
come down and show me how to do it?
Yeah. I'll send Carl over.
But I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's just, I didn't want to deal with it. I'm tired of this.
Do you believe that certain energy draws other energy to it?
To me,
Yeah.
I think there's something to that.
Like, I do think it is interesting. Like, we live blocks apart.
Yeah.
And you always have stories of people pooping in your back area.
That's only the second time that's happened. but
jumping
yeah.
your fence, stealing your power washer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Are you still looking for people power washing? I put up a sign being like, I need someone to power wash something.
oh, like you think you would return to the scene of the crime?
I'd be like,
and try
I
to,
could go make $20 off
Yeah.
that guy who returns licenses.
I don't know. That's a good idea. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just giving that up. It's unfortunate. I did want to ask. So Theo is doing cross country.
Yes.
So I have a question related to that, but you can.
It's pretty intense. Like I'm pretty excited for him. I'm hoping that it doesn't burn him out because he's gone from like basically running when he felt like it to now 6 days a week. They have 2-hour practice.
Wow, that's yeah.
Yeah.
They're not running the whole time, but
But still, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
They
In
do
this heat?
calisthenics.
In this heat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So he just got it was nice. He got a pair of cross country spikes, which I've never run in spikes, so I'm really curious about how those work.
Yeah.
But
Is that just used for race day or? I'm not a cross.
I think you can use them on the
track.
track, and you can use them for like race day. It depends on the course, I'm gonna guess,
Yeah.
because like if it's on a grass course,
Right.
you've got now spike. But then I'm like, well, why aren't these just trail shoes? Like why when we go for a trail run aren't we wearing
Well, and isn't
cross
the big
country?
stories now that all these kids are using the super shoes on cross country courses?
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
I mean, this basically is a super shoe. It's got fuel cell foam on the bottom and spikes.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool though. I didn't realize cross country practice that much. It sounds like very
It's like any sport.
yeah.
You would do it 6 days a week.
I have to say, I was like, I was shocked the other day because I guess I haven't really been paying attention. Like when Theo and the kids were younger, we go to the pool and you kind of see their physiques and stuff like that. But now Theo's in high school and he's been lifting and he's now on the cross country. And when I picked him up from cross country, he didn't have a shirt on.
Yeah.
Dude's jacked and ripped.
Dang.
And I was just like, holy cow. I mean, the dude's 6'2".
Yeah, he could be a bodyguard.
And we have like when the people brought the treadmill in, they moved a planter off the porch and it was too heavy for me to lift back on. So I was like, I'll see if Theo can do it. Theo, you do it? Picked it up.
What?
Put it over there. I was just like, holy cow.
Man.
It's like a adult.
Yeah, that kind of stuff makes me just depressed about the decline of my health, my own personal health. Just how easy it is back when you're a kid. You're just like he could eat 6 bowls of cereal.
Oh, he does.
Easy.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Meg, how fast did we go through milk?
Like I have to have a gallon like every 2 days.
Where does that even go to? Like where?
The energy?
Yeah.
Well, he's still growing.
Yeah.
Size 13 foot,
Yeah, I guess most of the calories probably go just to his feet growing.
to bones and stuff. Yeah.
By the way, if anyone else has kids that are on the cross country team, our next Fuel for the Soul episode is all about fueling your young kids and teens.
Dang.
And in sports.
Did you already record that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I had some questions.
You can ask him.
Oh.
Next.
Well, the one question I was really wanting to ask was, so Rye, whenever he runs, and this could be just because he just isn't, like if he goes to run, he's just all out,
Yeah.
But he gets side stitches like almost immediately, like every time he runs, and it's just
You don't remember when you started running
Debilitating.
getting those?
Yeah, I feel like that's just what happens when you're a kid.
Or when you start, when I
But I
started
feel like
running.
other kids don't. Like it's just like they'll do the Charm City races, and it's all the other kids seem to be doing okay.
But maybe he doesn't have a regulator. Like he's just like as hard as he can.
That's probably true. So is there a way do you just warm up more? I read like don't eat anything within like a few hours.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll
Like
have to ask
do
Megan.
some warm ups, stuff like that.
I would bet you that because like right now, I mean, you've taken him on longer runs.
Yeah.
And does he get the side splits when he's doing the long runs?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Is he going out fast?
Yeah, probably.
Like, does he go out fast, get a side stitch, slow
Like,
down a bit?
Not like fast, but just seems like almost always, even if it's just running very short, like we'll just get immediate side stitches. But I don't know.
Is he snitching on anyone?
Probably his brother.
Yeah.
Actually, he doesn't snitch on his brother. They just fight. They just kick and punch each other.
I'm sure
As
somebody,
young boys do.
hopefully somebody's listening to the show and can give you advice on that.
That's kind of why I brought it up, hoping
My
that
guess-
somebody would.
Yeah, my guess, I'm not obviously a physician or anything. My guess would be that he needs to learn to kind of like work into the run instead of just going all out. Like when we used to take Henry
Yeah.
to a 5K, Henry would sprint out as fast as he could.
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody passed him or something like that, he would get frustrated and mad and just stop.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do that. It's just like he literally, like, it's just like hurts to where he can't, go as fast or whatever
If he stops and takes a breather, does it subside?
for a second, but then it comes back, like, once he starts up again. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm assuming that like a warm up would probably be a good idea.
For sure.
Like, definitely do that or something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think it's too concerning because the kid runs like 5-6 mile runs, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, has. We haven't been running as much lately, but I now that I think about it, I think when I was a kid, I used to get them a lot too.
I definitely did.
Yeah, and even
I just remember when I started running.
Yeah, definitely when you first started running too.
When I, like, as an adult started running, I remember my face used to get really red
Yeah.
and I would get like
you had
like
rosacea?
cramps. Yeah, dude. I would finish a
scarlet
run
fever?
and my face would be like
Beet red.
super puffy and super red.
Yeah,
You don't remember that?
but from you,
No, just in general.
When you first started running.
I feel like that still happens. So I don't know.
Still acclimating.
So, how do you get 90 miles in a week?
A lot of doubles.
Yeah, explain that.
daily doubles?
Well, so like I was saying earlier, last week I didn't have a rest day, so that obviously plays into it as well. And then if I have a workout, it's usually a longer morning session, so anywhere from 12 to 14 miles, and then I'll have a double on that day, so another 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Oh, go ahead.
It adds up pretty quick.
How do you not get bored?
I slightly change the route all the time. I'm always listening to music. It's also just kind of become habitual.
I also think Megan not running is the worst Megan that you can have. I mean, yesterday she took a day off and she was delightful. But I mean, like, if Megan can't run,
Yeah.
you don't want to be around it. Like, if she's out for a week or something.
Also, a nicer way to put this is when I am running really high mileage, it's like my favorite. Like, I just feel my best, and like it's like I love it. Like, a lot of people hate the marathon grind, and like that's my happiest version. Like, I love being like that physical exhaustion is like I love it.
I like that.
So this week, so I guess you're on like a 9-day schedule because you get a day off probably every 9 days instead of once a week.
It's kind of random. I don't know that there's a real schedule to it.
But like this week, you have 3 days in a row where you're going to hit some super high mileage. What are those 3 days?
So tomorrow I'll do 400s in the morning. It's like a 12-mile-ish. And then I'll do 5 in the afternoon. Then I'll do a 10 and 5. I have a lower mileage day Friday. I think it's like 8 or so. And then a 21-mile progression run on Saturday. And then 10 on 5 Sunday.
Cannot compute. do not understand.
So, I mean, yeah, the doubles really, I don't know. I think it's nice to kind of break up your afternoon. It usually happens when I'm like checked out of doing work and it's before I'm going to make dinner. And so it's just a nice like break in the day and it brings you some energy back. And
Yeah.
it's easy to add up miles that way.
I mean, I feel like that one great when I actually did run a lot, I was doing that. No, not as many, but it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And it like surprisingly doesn't feel like that much extra effort, but it adds up.
And I also feel like, especially the doubles after a workout day, like after my workout in the morning, like the last thing I can think about is possibly doing an afternoon run. But then once I get out the door and do it, I feel better the next day for my next run.
Okay.
I just think it like flushes stuff out. I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah. But if you don't love running, you're never going to enjoy it. Like you're not going to.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I think like for me, okay, so when we were in Paris, it's not that we had more time, but like if we had time, there was times where we were running.
Yeah.
Like, and then you could supplement that by a couple miles, like we were adding 1 mile here and there. I think that's like my thing with, and I don't know if it's a thing where when I'm at home, it's just like I'm in a certain schedule or something, but I feel like the time aspect, it's like hard to fit in, which makes sense. There's a lot of other responsibilities.
Yeah. Well, and like when you're traveling, it's just you typically,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about anyone else and what they're doing. So it's kind of like do your own thing.
I think that's kind of the pressure of it. And I hate getting up early,
Yeah.
So
That'll do
it's
it.
like, that's a big one.
Yeah. I'm also going to bed at like 9 p.m. every night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a difference there. You're probably still up for 3 hours after I go to bed.
Accurate. Yeah, I did go to bed at midnight last night.
Oh, jeez. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
It's just, that's when I feel most alive.
Yeah, that's my least productive time ever.
You're more similar to my youngest who can sleep until 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. He will stay up.
When I was younger, yeah, basically that's what I used to do. Or sleep till at least noon for sure. Like always up till 4 a.m. or
Well,
something.
he's back in school, so he had to get used to
Yeah, that's tough.
getting up early. So he set his alarm for 5, but he doesn't wake him up. So the other day, when
You
Meg
set
and
it
I,
for 5 a.m. on Sunday morning.
yeah, so Meg and I could rest, don't have to be up at our normal 5:30 time, and his alarm's going off, and we can hear it.
Gosh, I can just hear you yelling right now.
No, we didn't yell because he won't wake up for it.
Oh.
So I just ended up I was like, I guess I'm getting up, and got up.
5 a.m.
Yeah,
Whoa.
turned off his alarm. He'd left his phone on the couch, and gone to bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. So that makes sense. I don't know. I'm hoping. Wait, are you still injured, Thomas? You're dealing with it, right?
I'm running through it.
How many times have you gotten dry needled?
2 times, and tomorrow will be the 3rd.
Okay.
And I think I'm done after that.
You only went once, right? And you said that,
No, I
did
went
it?
like 6 times.
Oh, did you really?
6 or 8 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So the first time I went, it felt better.
Yeah.
Second time I went, I felt like afterwards it felt worse. And then I'm going back tomorrow. But
But you're not doing
I'm not
speed work.
really
right?
doing speed work. So I'm just kind of like doing nice cruiser miles.
Okay.
Right now the goal is to get me to a place where I can start and finish Berlin Marathon.
Yeah.
Who knows what that will be as far as a result. But it's my last 6-star. We're going to be in Germany, and I'm just going to do it. So,
Yeah.
but things have been feeling a little better. Like today, when I was doing the treadmill, my last mile, I was like, well, let me just see what it feels like to run a little bit faster. So I dropped it down to like a 7:30, just to see because I've been running everything in the 9s.
Right.
And even some 10-minute mile runs, just to be like easy on the leg and just kind of cruise.
Uh-huh.
And I got it up there and it felt pretty good. I mean, I still can feel the tendon that's irritated, but I feel like it's coming around.
Okay. Well, I hope it does.
So do I. I mean, it'd be great. I mean, I've had so many good training and then disappointing marathons. It'd be great to have the worst training and
have a day.
and have a great day.
What is it Berlin a goal race for you, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll shoot. Here's the thing. It's like I'm always like now my mindset is just to see how fit I can get and then see what the day brings because there's just so many factors and weather and so like chasing a specific time just feels ludicrous right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to get fitter than I was in Chicago or as fit as I was in Chicago and run better.
Okay. Is Berlin what's the weather typically?
Last year was a little warm.
Yeah. I think it's 50s average.
Okay.
So a little bit on the warmer side, but it's super flat. And they said that the way the buildings face or however they're positioned, you're like shaded almost the whole time.
Okay, that's cool.
Like it's an ideal course. If you're in great shape
Yeah.
and you're feeling good, this is the course.
Yeah.
But last year, I mean, Feather still had a PR last year.
Right.
And I think it started off in the high 50s and ended in the high 60s.
No, it started in the low 50s and ended in the low 60s.
Okay.
So I think it warmed up pretty quick because it doesn't start till 9 or so in the morning. But
That's pretty reasonable.
And it's a mass start.
yeah, I think that's how it works. Everyone's just rolls out.
Okay. I guess we have enough information that we can tell people that we're going to be doing a shakeout run in Berlin on Friday.
It's we haven't solidified the exact location, time, and details. However, if you are going to be in Berlin, block off Friday morning for us. It'll be sometime around 8, 9 a.m. There'll be a run. There'll be some carbs. There'll be a good time. So
nice.
yeah,
There might be some other swaggish stuff.
yeah, we'll be there with Adidas. So it should be fun.
Yeah. I was trying to look up her Berlin Marathon from last year.
Megan would know. You know.
Here, I got it.
The time?
I got it. No, just like Megan Featherston's.
Oh.
I got it here. I was trying to see if it would say like
The weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. Anyways, that's cool. That'll be fun.
All right, second check-in. Let's go back to like the old school ones where I just say, hey, check your breathing, your hands, unclench them, loosen up your shoulders, get that stride going. Take it easy. Take it easy. Meg, I've been sleeping like a champ.
Is it because you have a lovely Lagoon pillow?
That and melatonin edibles.
Melatonin and edibles?
Gummies. Yeah, but the pair is unbeatable.
Yeah.
So Lagoon is again a sponsor of this podcast this week. You can go to lagoonsleep.com/believe to check out all of their pillows and to take their quiz. It's very easy. You just have to explain your sleeping preferences, and it populates the perfect pillow for you.
Dude, I think Lagoon should put together like a giant pillow fight. Like, and maybe you win a Lagoon pillow.
How do you win a pillow fight?
Sounds like
You come out on top.
Sounds like my 13-year-old self's dream.
How do you win a pillow fight? Like, could you
No
have
one really
scoring?
has pillow fights. That's never been a thing.
I bet you could have scoring. Like if it's 2-man in, like Robbie and I line
Knock
up
out to
against
the
each other,
face.
Oh,
like the
man.
most hits to the like clean hits to the
CTE
noggin.
on deck.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I didn't even know what CTE is, so I had to look it up. But if you had it, the pillow sure would help.
Yeah.
And if you want the perfect pillow to slap someone in the face with, again, go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. Use the code BELIEVE for 15% off your first purchase.
Make sure they took the quiz first so you know which pillow to smack them with.
By the way, for the Chicago Marathon,
Yeah.
the pacing group, I guess I don't have an official name for it yet. Should we do a name?
I think it should be very unofficial. Like unofficial.
That's true. Yeah, never mind. So it's just going to be if people end up showing up in Corral H at this time of the start of the race and they find me there, and John Ober, who's also from here with Believe in the Run, we're going to run a sub 4 hour marathon. We have a pretty good amount of interest.
Yeah, like 50 people.
Have
right?
around 50 people who are interested in the run.
Dude, that's going to be a cool like
Mob.
group.
Yeah.
Especially because so the beginning is crowded and it's going to be chaotic for the first probably 3 miles. But then
Yeah.
once you get like 6, 7, 8 miles, like it breaks up a lot. And if you have that pack,
Yeah.
that's going to be cool.
I'm interested to see how many people are going for that time or just
Like running, like casually.
yeah. And how many people finish because I don't. John said he's paced some marathons before. He's like there's a pretty significant fall
Oh,
off.
I imagine. Yeah.
But I'm hoping that fingers crossed. Most people.
yeah.
I think if you guys make it fun,
Yeah.
and I think more people are going to finish because I think there's
As long as
probably
there's good
also
web.
people who are like, yeah, I just want to have fun at the Chicago Marathon and I can run with a group of people.
Yeah.
I think like it's different when you run with a pace group. You don't know those people. You get in there with that group and you're like, and so when you are struggling and you drop off, nobody's going to be like, look, I'll help you get back in with the group. I'll help you do this. I think that if there's 50 people running together with you guys, and say that somebody starts struggling with the pace,
Put them on our shoulder. Put them on those shoulders.
Carry 'em.
You'll be like, hey, let's get you back into the.
Do you think that if you were struggling, do you think that someone could convince you to get back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
As I'm not trying to add more pressure to you here, Robbie, but as someone who was so like I used pacers for all of my marathons in the beginning. Like would find them at the start line and they made or broke my race. Like there were guys who literally almost carried me to the finish line. Like you become best friends out there because you see like the best and worst of yourselves over 26 miles. And so you just,
That's cool.
you create a bond.
My favorite pacer though was at the Harrisburg Half Marathon. Luckily, I was running with Jared Kilberg at the time, but we went out with a pace group. I forget what it was, but at the time that was my PR in the half. I think I did a little better in Houston or in the Woodlands. But I'm guessing we wanted to finish somewhere around, I don't know. I forget what the pace was, but it wasn't something crazy for a really fast runner. Mm-hmm. We go out. We get to the first mile and a half. Our pacer had a stick with like our finish time on it. He gets all pissed off, takes his stick, breaks it over his leg, and throws it to the side, and then just goes and sits down. And there was probably like 20 of us, and we were all just like looking at each other like, now what?
Yeah.
You know? And luckily I was with Jared Kilberg, so we just ran together, and I ended up having a good day. But like I was like, you can't do that.
No, it's like abandoning your platoon.
That same thing happened to me when we were in what was the really hot marathon? It was 90 degrees in Ohio.
Are you talking Steamtown?
No,
Toledo? No.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Oh.
I was trying to break 3 there and went out with the 3-hour pace group, and it was almost 90 degrees at the start. And so
That had to
at
be.
mile 7, the guy was just like, F this, and tossed
Yeah, I
the
would
thing
do.
and
I
was
mean,
like,
I would do the same thing in
and I
that.
was like, well,
That was one of my
there goes that
only
day.
marathon DNFs. I think I have like one because of injury,
Yeah.
and that one just like
I mean, you can't unless you're run walking. 90 degrees is insane.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
training in Texas.
a young girl passed away at that one.
That's
but
right.
The crazy thing was, it was like I was like, okay, I was struggling to keep the pace, and I was trying to follow my marathon plan for the first like 3 or 4 miles, and it just was like getting
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah.
They have this hill at mile 7 there that was, I mean, what was that hill? It was like straight up.
Yeah, it was so bizarre.
And I remember just being like, okay, I'm going to have to walk. It's too hot. I'll get to the top and I'll start my pace again. And I was going, and I was like, you know, when it feels like you're running like 640s and you look at your watch and you're like, oh, I was actually running closer to 8.
Yeah.
Well, it felt like 640s. And I looked at my watch and I was like running a 9:45.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I was like, it just took the wind out of my sails. And so I made it to the halfway mark where the half was turning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I came all the way to Ohio. I'm going to keep going. I went about another mile, and I was just like, I got to
Yeah.
turn around and walk.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was the worst. That was probably my least favorite marathon ever.
That might be mine too.
And that's over New York. Where-
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Where I died.
Yeah.
It was so much hotter than New York
Yeah.
and Cleveland.
I will say that my best marathon. So yeah, my PR. I did run with the pace group that time. Now that I think about it,
And did you like almost become friends with those people?
not
Or-
really, but no, I actually hated him. No, I'm just kidding. No, but Alex from Charm City Run was in that.
Okay.
He was running that race that day with the same pace group, but he's much faster. And then I was feeling strong at 20, and so I went ahead, and then he
nice.
helped me go even faster.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Alex from Charm City. I don't know.
That was
You know,
Harrisburg?
like shaved head, like bald.
Oh, yeah. He was with Falls Road. He
Sorry, at the
gets
time
around.
it was Charm City. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great. Like, so nice. Help me through. It was awesome.
This was Harrisburg Marathon.
Yeah. So that was 5 years ago or something.
But like, think if there's 50 people, and hopefully they'll come to the shakeout run ahead of time, get to know the other runners that are going to be running in the pace group.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it looks like
Yeah.
I was going to try to send it to Carl so I could put it up in the images for the podcast. But it looks like you're going to have a special singlet that people will be able to grab.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll do the thing where you can press your name on it
Okay.
and stuff on it. So you'll have, it won't be so hard for you to remember people's names.
Yeah.
And so,
that'd be
and
good.
you'll be able to spot people, because if they're starting to fall off, you could be like,
Yeah.
yo,
Grab him.
Ober.
Maybe you guys should all do that thing like the centipede run, like they do.
Oh, where
in,
they tie-
Yeah.
tie-
I thought you meant the human centipede. I was like, I don't think so. Not
No,
for
where
Chicago.
you
Maybe New York.
Yeah.
where you're all
Not
part
deep
of
dish pizza.
a leash.
Robbie
situation.
left early that time. He didn't do that race with us, remember? Robbie, you've left early on 2 occasions where you missed out on something fun, but we did the Beta Breakers
in San Francisco.
Oh, that's right.
where they
Yeah.
have they chain themselves together there's like a division.
Oh, that's right.
Team
And they
running.
absolutely destroyed us. Like they were so fast. It was
Well, the fastest
upsetting.
group was like 5-minute mile.
like sub 5-minute miles
Yeah.
for 7 miles on a hilly course.
What?
Yeah.
That's-
all chained together.
Yeah, that
And they have this
sounds-
system where if someone gets tired, you can
Unclip them.
unclip, but you have to like immediately clip someone else in.
So you'll see like a group of
Okay.
10 people all running next to each other.
Yeah.
And they'll, like, one will run up to the front, almost like a Peloton for cycling. They'll unclip a dude or a woman, and that person curls off to the back. He clips in.
And then
goes.
do you all have to stay together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all attached.
Like you can't drop someone.
Well, you could, towards the end, like, say that you had unclipped.
Yeah.
yeah, that person can be
Like,
gone.
you can,
Do you
can
get
just,
penalized for that?
I don't think so, but it's a team score. So I don't know if it's just the team has to have a certain number of people
Oh, okay.
crossing or whatever, but
Can you imagine though if you're the weak link that day and you're like, man, I can't run that fast, and then you slow everyone down?
Yeah,
talk about a
sounds
guilt
awful.
trip.
But the thing that was awesome about it, I think that you actually get that extra strength because you know you're part of a team. You don't want to let people down. So you try a little harder. But the fun thing about that race is, like, when I didn't feel good,
Yeah.
you just look up and there's a dude in
Tutu.
a thong running as Ash Ketchum.
There's unicorns,
Yeah.
everything.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to go back and do that one again. That was fun.
So and there's a lot of this past week. There's like a bunch of that. So there was like the Hood to
Hood to
Coast
Coast,
relay.
yeah.
There was the Speed Project Europe or whatever, Chamonix.
Oh,
Did you see that?
I thought it was Chicago.
Oh, no. It's CHX.
Okay.
So Chamonix to Milan, maybe, or I forget, Marseille.
So did Ragnar just lose like the relay race?
Yeah, I don't know. What is that even a thing still?
yeah, I think so.
Like Ragnar owned it for a while.
But
Yeah.
it used to be cool, and then I feel like they made it like lame when it was just like you sit at one spot and then everyone goes up and down a mountain or something.
When they started doing the trail ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool when you had the vans and you went from point to point because then it felt like a
Yeah.
adventure.
I mean, it literally started the Faster Bastards.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think so. The Speed Project, the European one, that was I think it was not going back to its roots, but it was very hush hush. There was nothing about it beforehand.
You mean it wasn't sponsored by several brands
Right.
and like
Although I think North Face did have, there was some, North Face had a
There's
team or
always
something.
someone.
But it wasn't like the one out here in Vegas where it's just like, now it's not a secret thing anymore. It's pretty much a party.
it was kind of like really hardcore,
Yeah.
and it kind of feels like now it's just
Yeah.
it is a Ragnar. Like you look at the people running it and
Pretty much. Yeah.
you're like
You got this thing sponsored by if Under Armour sponsoring it, it's over.
well every team has like a sponsor.
That's what I mean.
And yeah, it's just like yeah.
Are you guys jealous you're not over at UTMB?
I mean, I'm trying not to look at it, but
I mean, we sent Taylor over there. You have to see it.
Taylor's over there, so he's, I'm sure, as a trail boy,
Yeah, he's
having
probably
the time
having
of his life.
fun. I felt like we got a taste of it at Western States.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is like even bigger,
Yeah.
and so I would like it because I really loved the Western States experience.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and the Broken Arrow, both of them were great. So Taylor's over there, I think, with Solomon, and is he running one of the events, or is he just spectating?
He's just, reporting live from the ground.
Just that little town that I keep seeing the photos and videos from, and the mountains in the backdrop. Just, it looks so cool. I just want to go.
Yeah. Is it Chamonix?
Yeah.
I mean, is that where he's at right now is what I meant?
Yes, as far as I know.
I know that's where
Yeah.
UTMB is.
It's like one of those places where it's hard to take a bad photo.
Yeah.
You either have like a Swiss chalet or,
Right.
a giant mountain.
Yeah.
Is Courtney DeWalter running again?
That's a good question. I would assume so, but I haven't
I bet you
definitively
that's something you
heard.
could Google.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I mean, I feel like she would have to, right?
No.
No? Okay.
Maybe she had enough.
Yeah, maybe she's retired. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, but it's. I think it.
Yeah, so Courtney DeWalter and second place finisher are not on the start line this year. So it's anyone's.
Opening up the
Yeah.
field.
I wonder if the woman who won Western States is there.
Taylor, put on a dress and get out there.
What do you mean put on it? He's probably wearing one.
Yeah. Yeah. These trail guys, you never know.
He's probably lonely in the hot tub without Carl.
Oh yeah, you guys
You guys spend too much time together in Tahoe.
besties. Oh man.
I think Taylor took his wife out this time, so maybe they're getting some jacuzzi time.
Yeah. We'll ask. We'll make sure we report on that for the
Yeah.
next podcast.
Important.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's. Oh yeah, and then did you see Jakob Ingebrigtsen crush the 3,000 meter record?
Yeah, like
by 3 seconds.
that feels sus. I'm
That
just
is-
gonna say.
What's sus about it? You don't like his riz?
I just feel like there's record breaking and then there's record breaking,
'Cause-
and that's crazy.
And look, I'm not a huge track guy.
Maybe his Olympic enhancers didn't kick in until.
Yeah, I'm not making any judgments. I'll let Meg do that. But I'm not, don't put this on record for me. But I was reading somewhere that the 3,000 meter was always thought of as like the hardest one to break. I don't forget where I read that. So the fact that he broke it by 3 seconds is kind of insane.
3 seconds in that distance seems like an eternity.
Well, after what was it, 20 some years, it hasn't been broken.
Right.
Like that's wild. But again, maybe it's like one of those mental things where now everyone's gonna do it. Like
Maybe.
the 4-minute mile. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I love Jacob. I'm happy that he did it. I think it's good for him after his sad day in Paris.
And the thing is, in Paris, it's not like he just went out hard. He went for
Yeah.
it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know?
Well, maybe he realized it worked for him until after 3,000. So he was like, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah. Dude, someone did this reel of Cole Hawker, like his win, and then it's like him as a kid. Have you seen that reel?
No. Is it good?
It's like, I show it to my kids like every day. Actually, they ask to watch it like every day now, which is cool. It's like super, it has that Kanye song in the background, you know, the one everyone uses to get pumped up on, Runaway.
Uh-huh.
And then like it, you know, drops in when he's like racing down the stretch or whatever. But it's him as a kid, like talking about how he's gonna be, you know, like showing footage of him running and then saying how
That's
he's
cute.
like wants to, like, as he's getting older, be like, yeah, I just like kicked it in. And he's like covered in mud, like from a cross country race. It's like, dude, full chills. It's so good.
Gotta watch that.
But yeah, and he just, you know, seems like such a good dude.
He does.
Now we'll never. We should have got him on the podcast before.
Yeah.
What, you don't think you get him now? It'll die
I
down.
don't know, I think so. Yeah, not right now, maybe, but
Yeah.
6 months.
He'll come
It'll
back.
die down.
Yeah.
Should we talk about this Adidas shoe?
We can. If Robbie, did you have anything else? I will give you my 10-second Aliens Romulus
Okay. Yeah.
movie review.
real quick. Popcorn.
So I thought it was pretty good. The boy, I went with Henry. He loved it. It kind of combines a couple different genres. So think Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it really is just a horror story in space. So you
Okay.
have like
It's my nightmare.
you have these like teen kids that are trying to escape this like work planet, and they find this ship that's drifting or space station drifting. They're like, we can get up there, get the cryo stations, and then we could jet off to the Paradise Island, the
Yeah.
Paradise planet that they want.
Yeah.
Of course, this ship that's drifting is infected with the aliens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it has that. The standout though was there's a guy who played the replicant or the like android synthetic human,
Okay.
and he did a really good job. And he kind of tied the movie together. The lead woman did a good enough job that you hung in there, but they also pull in a lot of like Easter eggs from the original aliens
okay.
and stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
So it was good.
I would say it was good. Megan will never want to see it. If you don't like either sci-fi or horror movies, you probably won't want to see it. If you do, it gives you what you're looking for.
Yeah, you lost me with scary movie in space.
Was-
That's a hard no.
Is that a Ridley Scott?
Yeah.
Like, so did he do this one?
He is a producer on it. I don't know that
Okay.
he is the director,
Gotcha.
but they did a nice job.
Okay. Wow. So it's been 45 years since that's such a long time.
It is.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Well, yeah. I mean,
45.
Star Wars is already 50 years
50 years.
or something like that. Didn't they
Half
have their
of us-
50th anniversary?
I guess, yeah, that would be about or close to it.
No, it's not quite because
Star Wars 77 or 79?
yeah, 77, I think.
Okay.
So it's got a little bit, but we're rolling in on it.
77.
But
Man, that's 50 years. That's such a long time to think about.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to.
it was, but the like little Easter eggs.
So old.
Yeah, little Easter eggs that were in it that were kind of cool though was like the lead girl was wearing a pair of Reeboks that were similar to Sigourney Weaver's Reeboks in one of the Alien movies. Some of the actors that came back in, like there's a synthetic that was a synthetic from a different movie.
Okay.
And they brought in some of those things and stuff, but
Nice.
yeah, it was good. It was worth it.
Speaking of aliens, did you hear about the astronauts who are stuck in space
Yeah.
forever?
Yeah,
Till
they
February.
are aliens now.
Well, someone was saying if they just hooked up in the whatever
They
shuttle
could have
they're
had a
in,
baby.
Yeah, does that count as an alien baby?
See, for science, they should have done it. But
Yeah. I mean, like, who knows what happens when you mix anti-gravity and a sperm and an egg? What comes out of that?
Probably just the normal stuff.
Well, I don't know. Do we know for sure?
we don't know that. What if there's no containment of gravity, so the
That's
the
what I'm
body just
saying.
grows in weird directions?
Yeah. I mean, and then you have, if you come in contact with like a symbiote, like Venom, imagine that.
Okay,
Or
so
you
we're
dip the
living
child
aliens.
into adamantium or whatever it's called that the Wolverine has, and
Oh, yeah, adamantium.
adamantium, and yeah, you've got yourself a perfect.
I'm just saying they should do it, even if they're not in love, maybe just as an experiment.
You don't
for-
think they've taken him? Well, they're definitely not in love. You don't think they've done embryo experiments in space already?
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right.
I don't know if they'd be human embryos, but they've taken embryos up there.
Dude, how pissed would you be if you're just going on a space vacation for a week and they're like, no, you're there for
This is
8
why I'm
months.
never going to like when they're offering trips to space in the future. Hard no,
Yeah.
no.
It sounds like a Mr. Beast challenge. Like
I don't
you're
know,
in the
though.
same room with another person for 8 months.
Yeah,
I think that now they should have Tinder for astronauts, so you get to
Just the
choose.
two of them?
You get to
Imagine-
choose who goes up with you.
Imagine they're in the space shuttle just swiping. Which direction you swipe, Carl? Yeah.
Swipe right?
Swiping right nonstop, and it's the same person
It's just
coming up
those two.
every time.
In your local area.
But then what if they
what if they matched one time?
No, what if they match then with another like creature or something, and they're like, holy, there's another life form right by us.
I don't think they're life forms.
It would be the best. It's like you just lean over and be like, "That's not you. That picture. What are you doing?"
They look up. Yeah.
Yeah, flattering shot.
Yeah, they're like, that's it. I know where you took that photo from the angle inside the space shuttle. That's not, it doesn't look like that. Using the 0.7.
And the Russian guy
0.5.
comes up, and you're like, "Hey, we got new people."
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently, like they didn't even have clothes and stuff for them, so they're like reusing clothes. And guess what? Washing machine up there, probably not a lot of
No
water in
way.
it for 6 months or whatever.
Oh man, they're going to look like castaways from, like, have tattered. I mean, you think they even wear clothes?
What do you
at
think
that
they
point?
do all day?
I'm assuming they can watch Netflix. Like you would
Well, they're-
think,
Okay,
right?
have you ever
While they're
had like that?
floating.
Like I get all excited when I'm like, "Oh, I've got some downtime.
Yeah.
Let me go watch a show," and then you can't find. Like Netflix has thousands of
Yeah.
programs, and I still can't find anything I want
It's
to watch.
impossible. Yeah.
So, man, you're in space.
They're just scrolling through. Everything is just swiping. There's nothing getting done.
Are they on Instagram up there?
That's a good question.
Like how good's the internet up there?
Yeah, but I would be so mad looking at Instagram. And be like, look at these people
on real Earth soil.
going swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you're
and
missing
the cooking
whole
stuff.
seasons.
You'd be watching like you're eating freeze dried.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
And you're swiping through, and you're seeing someone. Here's how you make the perfect steak. No, you lose your mind.
Dude, they're probably doing that thing that, when you were a kid, you would just be bored and just count the tiles in a drop ceiling or whatever. Like you're in like a doctor's office and you're just counting how many tiles there are. No.
Sure.
Just think no exercise.
You just count like the dots on a wall because that's how bored you are.
I was thinking how bad space ice cream would probably taste now. Remember how cool that stuff was when
Oh,
you'd go
yeah.
to like
I
the
have some.
amusement park? Okay,
You
well,
still have some?
I have some.
Oh. Why did you give it like that? I have
it's
some.
a different kind.
Oh, okay.
I'll show it to you.
It'll space you out ice cream?
Yeah,
Okay.
there it is.
But it's freeze dried ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, maybe we should get into that. What was the other thing we were gonna get into those enhancement pills from the gas station too.
Oh,
Yes, the
gosh.
Rhino
During
pills.
the podcast. What was that? What was the swag?
Carl, have you been trying those?
Carl, did you ever try swag? No. Yeah, he gave that. He didn't say yes or no.
No.
That was the craziest package I've ever seen in my life.
I don't even know how it's legal to put that in public.
I forget what it said on it. What did it say?
No, we can't talk about it on here.
It says sex with a grudge.
Oh,
What does that even mean?
you know what that means.
I don't. I was looking at and then the packaging is wild, which, like, it doesn't even make sense, even in a weird way. There's a disconnect there.
Yeah, I don't.
So I looked it up on Reddit just to see, and like,
I swear, Robbie has I feel like you're a detective.
yeah. I mean, it's just like once I need to find out. I need to do more research. And so when on Reddit, someone was like, because on the thing it says no headaches, which I think is maybe a side effect of
Most of these pills.
Viagra and stuff. And the person was like, no, you get the worst headache ever. And they're like, but it does work. It's basically just, it literally is the same ingredients as Viagra, just a non-FDA approved version of it.
Wait a second. You can actually buy real pharmaceutical stuff
I mean,
out of a gas station?
it's like the generic version of it, but it's the same ingredient. Like it's whatever main ingredient as Viagra, but it's like non-regulated.
I didn't know that was possible. I thought that was a drug.
What do they just call it? A supplement? If you call it a supplement, I think you're allowed to do whatever the F you
right,
want.
so that's
yeah,
what
but
it is.
what is the ingredient?
It's
I'm gonna go.
swag.
What is this ingredient?
ingredient?
How do you spell it?
Yeah. And can you run faster?
Well, so the FDA gave a notification in 2015 that said swag has, so it's sildenafil, the active ingredient in the FDA-approved prescription drug Viagra. So the FDA analyzed swag, but it doesn't say it on the packaging that it has that. It just says like a supplement. So really, they're like, look, see. The active ingredient in FDA-approved prescription drug Viagra used to treat erectile dysfunction. This undeclared ingredient may interact with nitrates found in some prescription drugs, basically saying consumers should stop using this product immediately and throw it away.
Yeah, as soon as I saw
It's
the
like Four
package, that's
Loko.
what I would do. Like, that's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
So I don't know that you can get like Rofo, but I think if you go to like a corner store, like
Okay, no
Like a
one,
bodega.
any place with
no
bulletproof
one
glass
needs
has
this.
it.
Can we stop promoting this? How to get it?
Well, I'm
no
saying
one,
if anyone's buying it, I don't want them to on our any of our listeners are buying swag. I don't want them. I want them to know the truth.
It would ruin my jaws size.
Oh my goodness.
But, anyways, if anyone has any experience with that, let us know.
Call in now.
Yeah, we're for our 300th episode. Please call in.
I will not be
Our
attending this
300th
show.
episode is just going to be like weird gas station drugs that you've tried, and anything that you've had to drink. It's like a Four Loko.
Anything weird is it's just going to be a free for all.
I think we should. We'll call it the Drop Carnival.
I tried to go to their website. It's just
Nice.
it's sweepstakesonline.me, and it's bad.
You know what I didn't try when I did the prompts, and maybe I should try it, is make me a juggalo.
Oh yeah, no,
I
they would
wonder
make
if
you a
I
good
could
one.
do that.
I had to explain to my mom what that was after she listened to the podcast last week.
Wait, you had to explain what the
Juggalo.
Rhino. Oh, a juggalo.
That's weird because I know she's been to some of the conferences. I thought she's just playing it cool.
Yeah.
Imagine your mom drinking Faygo and dressing up as a juggalo.
I know. It's not.
All right.
Send her undercover. Well, did you ever see the Workaholics episode where
Yeah, I did.
they get? That's like one of the most famous ones.
So I asked it to make me a juggalo.
Yeah.
It clearly didn't use my face, but it made.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what that is.
That's not quite it. I'm going to say do a portrait of me as a juggalo.
Okay.
and this should do it. And then we'll get on to the shoe review.
Yeah.
Also, one public announcement that is an answer for you, Robbie, that I also think the listeners might be interested in knowing about your Ghost cereal.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
So this is straight from Megan Featherston.
Okay.
She said there's less, we'll say, negative ingredients added to this than Magic Spoon and other high-protein cereals.
Okay.
I'd try it. It's 17 grams of protein and 15 grams of carbs, so not really balanced for a runner meal, but maybe a fun snack.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, most of my life revolves around fun snacks.
There
so
must
that
be
works.
some sort of Spanish thing that's a juggalo, because that doesn't look like a juggalo.
Yeah, no, that looks like a...
That looks like I'm going on vacation in Jamaica
Yeah.
and appropriating
Or you
culture.
live there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think I dress like
You're an
that.
expat.
Yeah. Hiding from the law.
Okay, so yeah, wait, we mention the Ghost protein cereal on this podcast?
That's why I'm bringing it up.
You
we
did
say it in the
earlier.
beginning?
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember because I thought we were talking about that before.
Oh, not in the beginning of this episode, just on a previous episode.
Oh, I thought he was
Yeah.
talking about it today.
Yeah, I did, but it was before we
It was
started recording.
Just Robbie and I.
Oh.
yeah,
Well,
because
how did I hear it then?
That's what I'm saying. Like we were just chatting back and forth.
Okay.
You were here.
you were over
The
there
people
working.
weren't on the live.
Okay.
So yeah, I finished off that box of Ghost cereal. It was pretty good, I gotta say. And
Do you remember Serial Runner?
yeah, no, I texted him about it.
Yeah, but is he eating cereal?
He's back at it again.
How's he back at it?
He's just eating cereal.
I thought he made himself a bargain that he wouldn't eat cereal until.
No, he relented. Because, dude, you can't. If Reese's Puff are calling to you, you got to answer. Which then I bought a box of Reese's Puffs too.
Because you were like, this is good, but this one's cheaper.
Yeah, basically. So then it just like became looped me back into the harmful cycle.
Isn't there protein in milk though?
Yeah, that's how I justify the staggering amounts of sugar.
That I find it weird that I never got into cereals.
That's
Like,
sad.
I'm basically a Raisin Bran Crunch guy if I'm just gonna go, if I'm gonna eat, or granola.
That's just an existence I don't want to be a part of.
All right, final check-in. Man, this was a long episode, so you're probably pretty deep into your run at this point if you're still here, or maybe you started another one and this is like the midway point of your shorter run. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thanks for coming. I don't know if you know this, but we hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That was a pretty big deal for us. And I'm sure you've got goals and things that you're going after this fall. So hopefully we can help you get to your goals like you helped us get to ours. So keep rolling. We'll check in next week. All right,
Nice.
let's get into this shoe. This one, Robbie, I was actually surprised. And honestly, the only reason I tried it out on a run, that we're talking about the Adidas Supernova Prima. The only reason I tried it out on a run was I was like, it's all white. I kind of dig that. And I was doing these posts where I'm, showing the outfits or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks cool. I'll try it out.
Because you've had this shoe for a little while, right?
It's been sitting in a box for like over a month.
Okay. And I had a pair of these, but I think they were too big, so I gave them to Ryan, our other reviewer.
Well, the problem is I tried one of the other Supernova shoes, and I really didn't like it.
Oh, yeah, like the Rise or something?
I think it was the Supernova Rise. And I didn't like it. It felt too thin under the forefoot, and the foam, I don't know, it just wasn't right for me.
Right.
But so I tried this one on, and it fit well, and I was like surprised how much Dream Strike Plus foam it had under the foot here. And it actually has more foam than the Rise. This one's probably the most cushion of the Daily Trainer.
It's 37.29
Supernovas.
8mm drop, according to Running
Okay.
Warehouse specs.
And I have to say, it's turned out to be one of my favorite, like, basic standard
That's
Daily
wild.
Trainers this year.
That's wild.
Yeah, it fits well. The upper is nice.
Wait, what about compared to the Ultra Boost? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because it
I
seems
really
very
like
similar.
the Ultra Boost.
Yeah.
This feels lighter. I'm weighted. It's probably around the same weight. I like the Dream Strike foam. It just gives a little bit more than the Ultra Boost, I think. I'd have to try them on side by side.
It says the Dream Strike Superfoam is 20% bio-based and slightly denser 14% version of the Light Strike Pro.
Oh, okay. So it's a relative of Light Strike Pro. And it feels really good underfoot, and it just has this really smooth transition. And I guess it has, you remember when we saw the break apart at the running event where there has like a denser foam that makes up like kind of like,
Yeah.
what is that? What did they call it? The rods?
Energy
The
rods?
energy rods?
Yeah. So it's like a foam version of energy rods.
Okay.
That's like in here as well.
They call them bottom-loaded support rods. Are
like
formed
that.
of denser EVA foam for unobtrusive reinforcement.
Yeah. And it is unobtrusive.
That's some jargon.
Again, they love putting full coverage rubber pretty much on their shoes. It has a ton of rubber on the bottom. But overall, like the fit, it's got a nice tongue in here that's like saddled up. So you've got the sides, the gusset, padded. It's a really comfortable shoe. It does have a lot of like that back area here. I don't know what this is for,
Yeah.
but
Probably just.
and you can see like that doesn't even touch the
So
ground.
what are you wearing this for? Easy, short days, long runs?
Yeah, all my runs have been easy lately, so this is just another one, and it's like I was doing 6 mile runs in it, and normally when I start to pick up the higher miles, when I get into double digits, I like to go with a really light shoe so that like towards the end it doesn't feel like I'm bogged down. But I was really enjoying the 6 mile runs I was doing in the shoe, so I was like this weekend when I had a little test to see if I could go a longer distance on the leg, I put these on because my legs and stuff felt fine after running in them. And after 10-mile run, they felt really good.
Okay.
And I didn't weigh them yet, but I'm going to guess they're probably in the same general area
So
as
that's what I was looking up. According to Adidas on their website, it's a half ounce heavier than the Ultra Boost.
Okay.
So it says 290 grams, where the Ultra Boost is 275 grams.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I like both the shoes. So it would be tough. I think that style-wise, the Ultra Boost is better, but you're also paying, how much is the Ultra Boost? $20 more?
180, yeah.
Yeah. So $20 upgrade. I don't know. The Ultra Boost overall looks and like vibe, I think is a cooler looking shoe. But this one feels really good underfoot and smooth. So I don't know. I think there's a case. I guess if I had to choose between them and I could only have one, I would go with the Ultra Boost
Yeah.
just because I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
But yeah, just for a smooth, comfortable daily mile
All right.
type ride, I felt like this is a pretty decent shoe.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the Adidas is kind of their foams, the Dream Strike, obviously the Light Strike Pro, even
Dream Strike Plus.
Dream Strike Plus, the Light Boost or Boost Light. I feel like it's finally nice where like for a couple years there, that Light Strike, the basic version was like really dense and dead.
Yeah, and even the Boost was kind of hard.
Yeah. So it seems to be moving in the right direction.
Yeah, trending in the right direction. Now it is. Their shoe lineup is somewhat confusing because I mean, there's 3 different Supernovas, I think,
the Supernovas, yeah.
and then you get into like what you just brought up, like, well, why this over the Boost
Well, because those aren't the Audi Zero. There's the Audi Zero line, and then there's the Supernova line.
and Ultra Boost line?
Why are they making so many shoes? Every brand is doing it. Too many
Probably
shoes.
because for years we said, "Oh, I wish we had a shoe that was like this."
And now I regret ever saying it.
We're like, "I like this shoe, but if you just tweak it a little bit and do this, I
Well,
love that too."
That's kind of like we just reviewed the Asics Glide Ride Max.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this would have been a really good update to the Nimbus.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm like, how do you have both the Nimbus and the Glide Ride Max?
And the Cumulus.
Well, yeah. But in the same line, I'm like, I would go Glide Ride Max over the Nimbus every day.
Yeah, because they're the same price, right? Or is it Max
I think
more?
the Max is maybe $10 more or something.
How much was the A6?
I think
Glide Ride
I think
Max?
it's 160 for the
160.
Nimbus and 180 for the
Oh.
I think the Nimbus is 160.
Max. That's what I said. The Nimbus is 160.
Oh,
And the Max is 180, I think.
it's 170.
170?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah,
you're
$10
right.
more.
Okay.
But that was the same thing. And I felt like New Balance came out with the Ballos. I'm like, why isn't this just the 1080?
Right. Which I ran in that shoe again because I was like,
The Ballos or the 1080?
the Ballos, even after we did our review. Because I think I do like that shoe. But it's, again, yeah, it's like, what seems too much overlap.
And it, like, here's my feeling. Like, you like this shoe.
Yeah.
You don't love the shoe.
Yeah.
Like, there's other versions of shoes in their lineup that maybe you would wear over that.
Yeah. Although I think in general, I'm just not a huge New Balance fan, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, you said it doesn't fit your foot right.
Right. Yeah. Which is probably the main reason why.
Which Jared, on the other hand, is the biggest New Balance fan because he's got them
Wide
Barney
flippers.
Rebels. Yeah, but it is kind of like, well, why would you choose this over that or that? And it does get confusing because people are asking us, well, would you go with this or that? And I'm like,
But it's like we said in the Ballast review, like it just comes down to personal preference. It's like if you gravitate more towards, I guess the nice thing is the problem we have now is there's so many options to choose from, but there's like, you'll find something you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something for everyone.
so the Ballos, how much does it weigh compared to the 1080?
It's like an ounce or more lighter.
Yeah. It's pretty light.
So for
That's the nice thing. That's what I really like
right,
about it.
how much
Nice and
does a
light.
1080 cost?
160,
Yeah.
think, right?
So for $40 more,
yeah.
you can drop an ounce.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Well, and there's a Piba foam and it's livelier. Like I
Get it. Piba blend.
Right.
Yeah. It's not, it is nice. And I do feel like I know you said it's really soft, but I do feel like obviously the more you run in it, it loses some of that because you're just compressing it more. But
I thought it was strange. For me, it was too soft.
it's very soft. But I think, maybe once you get, I don't know, 35 miles in it, maybe it starts to even out a little bit. But I ran Super Blast again for my long run for the first 7 or 8 miles. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm wearing this shoe. If there's any shoe that I'm wearing all the time, it's this shoe.
I ran in the Super Blast again this morning. It's such a good shoe. And I know, like, we kind of have some insight into where it's going next year. I think it's going to only get better. But I will also tell you that I think if you don't want to spend the $200, the Puma Mag Max has a similar underfoot
I'm
feeling
loving that shoe.
as the Super Blast.
Really?
It just isn't as light.
How much does that shoe cost? 180?
I think you're right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. 180. And it's not as aesthetically pleasing. Like it just kind of
Yeah.
looks less.
well,
I don't know.
I think it's the colorways.
Yeah. If they gave me that all white one, maybe I'd say
Like
otherwise.
imagine take the Super Blast
Yeah.
colorways and put it on the Mag Max, and I think you have something.
I also think I'm liking this like geometric style in the midsoles that like you see in the Super Blast and the New Balance shoes. Like it looks
Yeah.
like modern.
Yeah. The
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I mean, it's under embargo to talk. I mean, we don't even have it yet. But the Brooks
Oh yeah.
shoe that's coming out,
Yeah, we can't talk about it, but it looks cool.
dude, it looks like.
And I would never say that about a
Yeah,
Brooks shoe,
yeah.
but I will.
Is it related to the Bush song?
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe,
the Bush song, but Max.
yeah, 16 stone.
Yeah.
That's how much it weighs.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah.
Look, Brooks designs with their top of the line stuff have looked fantastic. I've had no problem with
Yeah.
the way the shoes look.
And the Hyperions, aside from the Elite, have been great. I saw someone wearing the Hyperion Elite 3 as a walking shoe the other day, and I was like, I mean, I guess it's not the worst, but
I didn't even really love the Max that much. The Hyperion Max.
yeah, unfortunately for you,
I know.
outstanding shoe.
You think so?
Yeah,
There's going to be some interesting debates going on our top shoes this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, wait, so a Puma. Oh yeah, so the Puma, that crazy shoe.
Oh yeah.
So you've seen have you seen the photos of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the videos. Like it's out in Europe.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they're taking hammers to the boxes and breaking them up. Which is,
Okay.
here's the thing that I think is weird. The first person who did that was with the Elite, Saucony put out like a
You
thing.
mean the PR stunt where they give the influencers some fancy box to unveil?
Well, those have been going on for a long time, but
Specifically the
like
hammer.
this is a hammer
Yeah.
with a box. Like they gave you a box to break open, and now Puma and I playbooks around. The
What's
shoe
it called?
industry.
Something. It's like some silly name.
I don't know what it's called.
Like
Oh,
break,
it's a fast
break.
fast R something or another.
Like Fast Break. I was like, that's a candy bar.
That would be a good name,
But
though.
It was like Rule Breaker or something. I swear.
okay, but I don't understand how, because I looked at the design, and this is the whole thing. I don't know how that's not violating Nike's patent on the plate.
The
pod.
3 plates
yeah,
and
because
stuff.
it's like literally looks exactly like something from
the
Nike
patent that we saw.
Uh,
I thought the same thing when they said 3 plates and the thing. Like, okay, what point is it no longer a running shoe and it's like a rollerblade or
I mean,
a like a toy?
yeah, I mean, I feel like we talked about that just even with the Prime X Strong, which we thought was going to be maybe a little bit like that, or more. And we thought that maybe they had to switch that design up a little bit because of the Nike stuff. And that, if that was indeed the case, which I don't know, then I can't imagine how this is getting past.
Well, let me ask you, would you wear this in a race?
I mean, probably not, but like
Like I'm trying to figure out where I draw the line because I think the Alpha Fly assists, but it doesn't put me in a spot where I feel like it's a mechanism that is changing. Like it's not like wearing a spring-loaded shoe.
yeah.
I look at this shoe and I see what it does, and I'm like, this is it. This, like, if you put wheels on this would be rollerblades.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Like, it looks like I like what Puma's doing. They're just doing like some crazy stuff.
Like 0 F's given. They're like, just do it. Put it out.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
This year, I'd say that they're probably one of the underrated lineups. They have such a good, between the Nitro Elite that they made lighter, the Deviate Nitro 3, I think is a phenomenal. Played it daily. Like,
Yeah.
That's one of my top favorite shoes this year. The only shoe I didn't like was the Velocity, but other than that,
Yeah. No, it's
they're
pretty
killing
good.
it.
I do like that they're leaning into the record break, the rule breaker.
Yeah,
they're
that is what it's
like,
called.
They're just like, whatever. Like, we know.
Who do you think is going to buy that shoe, though?
I didn't say how. Oh, someone said it's $400.
I did, but then I think it was like 260 somewhere.
Okay, 400 would seem.
But I actually don't know because that was a different shoe. I do see 400 as well as rumors. This dude.
Someone will buy it. Who knows? Because Adidas, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Puma only ever has a limited supply anyway.
Make saw a guy with one of those, like, the spring shoes.
No way.
He was just doing loops in Federal Hill.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I watched that Seinfeld episode the other night, Jimmy's Shoes, where it's like those shoes in the 90s that were the basketball thing.
Yeah.
And I literally was watching that episode, I think 2 nights ago. And then this shoe.
It looks the same,
looks the
right?
exact same.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think for me that I would have to draw a line. Like, I don't think I could line up at a real race. I mean, I haven't tried this shoe.
It's called a rule breaker. You know what you're doing.
I know, but it's like that would be like showing up to a race in a pair of like those spring boots that you just showed, or like rollerblades almost. Like it's like you're not running at that point.
Yeah.
You're bouncing your way to the finish.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to try. Maybe they're not as insane as they look.
Oh, I definitely want to try them, but yeah, no, I'm not going to
Yeah.
race in them. That's crazy.
Yeah, I hope that'd be cool to at least see what they're all about. Anyways. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep. So in the future, if you're looking to get together, we will be doing a shakeout in Berlin. We'll be doing one at Chicago and, of course, New York City Marathon. So you have 3 chances to hang out this fall, and we'd love to see you. And I don't know, let's try to figure out that 300 episode because I think it'd be fun to do either a live or a listener questions podcast.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be super cool. So yeah, let's figure it out. Cause that would be coming in like, I don't know, a month or 2 months, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. We'll figure it out.
2 months. Too much? Oh yeah, that's right in the middle of it.
All right.
All
Hi,
right.
Ma.